I feel tingly inside. I feel like I have electricity flowing through me. Could it be? Could it be him? What is up, my nerds? Shane from The Nerdy Mind here. Got some exciting news. Wanted to jump on here and at least talk about it for a little bit. So, I try to stay as up to date as possible with DC comics, DC things that are being made. DC is one of my loves, so I try to stay up to date with things and get notifications about what's going on. I'm trying to be a little more open to with Marvel. I'm gonna play both lanes. It's okay. I'm in my 30s, so I'm allowed to do that now. As you kids you can play one side or however you want to do it. But me, I just love it all. I love heroes. I love it everything. But the one thing I saw today that I'm very excited for, and it brings something from my childhood into reality. There were talks of it happening, but with the whole thing with the DCEU, projects were going to be made and then canceled, and there was no real direction with the DC universe. And then James Gunn comes in, and then he's like, "Hey, we're going to make a cohesive thing," and they start canceling a bunch of stuff to kind of create this path that they want to create. And there was a project that was being made that I was very excited for, but it seemed like it was going to get shelved and didn't really know yet. From what I think is that it's not going to get made yet, but it is that Static Shock, one of my favorite heroes and one of my all-time favorite cartoons as a kid, is finally been announced by James Gunn that he is going to be in the DCU, and that is very exciting because he's a great character. He is a great character to have. There was speculation if he was going to be in the DCU, especially with them having Blue Beetle out. It's coming out now. So it makes sense for them to have a lot of these younger heroes to come in. So I at least want to get on here and talk about it. Like, what would be a great platform for Static Shock? You could go the full movie route and do like a 2-hour movie, pretty much doing his backstory and doing something like that. Or would it be more fun to do a series, like a TV series, and then go to the big screen with like a Young Justice style movie? I'll leave it up to you. Leave in the comments what you think you would prefer. Would you prefer to have a movie, or would you prefer to have a Static Shock show, live action show? The cartoon was amazing. I love the cartoon. Watching it on the WB. Who remembers the WB? After school or even sometimes in the morning. Y'all remember the Jackie Chan show where he had the talismans and stuff like that, and then the Yu-Gi-Oh was on, and then Static Shock came on not that far after him, and God, it was such good times as a kid, dude. What I could do to go back to those times. But yeah, to confirm, so it says, according to James Gunn, Static Shock is finally joining the DCU, and this is from The Fortress. So that's exciting. It has actually been announced by James Gunn himself that Static Shock will be in the DCU. So at least confirms that. Yeah. So how do you feel about that? Do you think that's should it be a show, or do you think it should be a movie? Me personally, I could have either one. It doesn't really matter to me. Show would be cool because you could really slow it down a little bit, and he could get into more of you could get to feel the character out a little bit more, especially with him when he gets his powers for the first time, gets to see like the training montages, him practicing and getting good with it. Yeah, I think a show would be cool, but a movie would be cool too. Because you have a bigger budget, you could do more things with it, and then you get to, and then you could, now that I'm saying it, I think it'd be better for a show into a movie rather than a movie into a show. Something that you wouldn't really want to do. So I think they should do it on like the small TV screen, like streaming, and then build them up to where you could put them in a movie, like box office movie. Um, but I don't know. Let me see if they've really announced what they're gonna do. So they haven't really announced who will obviously be playing him because it hasn't been like confirmed when they're gonna start the project. But yeah, I want to at least come on here and state that how exciting it is that Static Shock is gonna get an official look in the DCU. I like the path that James Gunn's on right now. He's coming out with a lot of different things and a lot of different unique things, especially with Blue Beetle. I mean, Blue Beetle is one of my favorite characters, especially Jaime Reyes Blue Beetle. Funny, has that humor about it, especially with him going back and forth with the suit, him learning the suit and trying to get in control. And if they bring Blue Beetle in, you have Static Shock. Damian Wayne's gonna be in the new Batman Brave and the Bold. So if you have Damian Wayne, you have Blue Beetle, you could have Static Shock. You could set it up to where you could have a Young Justice style show or movie. Yeah, I know you had Titans, the show. I might get hate for this, but I didn't like the path that Titans was taking. It kind of, maybe because I'm biased towards Batman, I didn't like the way how, yeah, they brought some actual life things into Titans, like where they kind of had some mental shit going on with them. Sure, that's kind of realistic, but Batman becoming a killer, like he's breaking his number one rule. You're literally changing the whole universe up. Like he kills the Joker, and that's it. And then Dick Grayson kind of takes over and trains everyone. So it's just, I don't know. It's kind of weird. I didn't really, after season 3, I kind of fell off of it. Season 1 into season 2 was really good, especially season 2 with them fighting Slade Wilson, was really cool. But I think that whole thing needs a reboot. I didn't like that Raven was called Rachel the whole time. She didn't really have her name Raven. Gar wasn't Beast Boy. Like, I don't know. Like, I just wanted a real Teen Titans show, but just not what they gave us. I mean, the acting in the show was great. Don't get me wrong. The overall combat, everything was cool. Get to see different styles of different characters. It was great. Hawk and Dove. I love those characters. They were cool. But it just wasn't like a true Teen Titans esque to me. Especially coming from like the cartoons and then watching Young Justice and how you would think, even though it is a cartoon, but the Young Justice was so good that it kind of had a bar for, I think, Titans to live up to. Because even in Young Justice, they were dealing with things because they were kids and they had therapy sessions and they made it real, bring it into more of reality, even though it was an animated show, where Titans took a completely different direction and pretty much made one of their top heroes a murderer at that point. So it was very weird. So, long story short, if you bring you bring Blue Beetle in, and then you have Damian Wayne, you got Static Shock. You could do a Wonder Girl, which I think they are doing. They are doing a Wonder Girl, Supergirl show. You could. Is it Supergirl show or movie? Hold on, let me see that. Yeah, so Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow is currently expected to arrive sometime in 2027. So we got a lot of time, but you know, you have the ability to build a small Young Justice team, especially in that time, a decade-long thing. You could build your Justice League, you could build your Young Justice team, and have a whole plethora of heroes to come in and do their thing. So, what do you think? Do you think I'm right? Do you think they might do a Young Justice team? Leave a comments in the below about it if you want to see a Young Justice show, live action, but with like following kind of what Young Justice did in the animated. But you have like Static Shock, you have Blue Beetle, you have Supergirl, you have Kid Flash. Maybe I would love to have another Dick Grayson in there. The actor who played Dick Grayson in the show Titans, I think he was great. He was a little moody for me to a point. You could have a Nightwing. You could have in the Young Justice. He was leading the team. He could lead the new team. Get him in a direction. You could even bring the actor who was in Titans into this. Brett. I forget his name. His name was Brenton. Yeah, he did. I liked him as Nightwing. I think he was good. He was a little moody when he was Robin, but became a little bit more balanced when he was Nightwing. I would love for them to do a Static Shock show, so that way when Batman Brave and the Bold comes out and they have Damian Wayne, they can introduce Damian Wayne and then even have like Static Shock maybe come into the show and build this cohesive Young Justice team. Because as much as I want a cohesive Justice League, I really, really want a Young Justice, sidekick team. I love the Justice League, but I love Teen Titans more a little bit. I really do. Because Batman's my OG. I love Batman. But Nightwing is right there with him. Robin's right there with him. And you got Raven, you got Starfire, you got Kid Flash, Aqualad, Beast Boy, Blue Beetle, Static Shock. You got all these good characters to use, and I think it'll be overall good. But hey, leave in the comments what you think. You want a Static Shock show? You want a Static Shock movie? Do you want a Young Justice show or movie? Leave in the comments what you think. Overall, as always, stay nerdy, my friends.
Who are you?
The name's Static. I put a shock to your system.
Good line.